Hiya guys, it's Spectre here, and welcome to some more Total War Warhammer 3. I've got something to share with you guys that I'm really excited about. This is my own idea. As far as I'm aware, no one else has had this idea, at least nobody has made any content of it anyway. So, this is my idea, and this is my little set of rules to make this work. So you guys can play it and enjoy your own campaigns this way, if you want to. As for the content creator side, there's two ways you can do it. You can do what I'm doing right now, which, as you can see down here in the bottom right, this is turn 99. So I'm recording at turn 99. There's a reason for that. The other way you can do it is record at turn 1 as normal, but with this certain set of rules. I will leave it in the description below, so if you guys miss anything, you can go review the rules down there. But how it goes is, this campaign and this campaign type series, for anyone that wants to play it, is called the Turn 100 AI Headstart. So, or 100 turn AI Headstart. So basically, as it is, you are giving the AI a 100 turn head start, with basically very little player influence. So the rules are, initially, you can control your starting province, whatever that may be. Obviously, if it's somebody like Skaven, you already start with it because it's one big settlement. And you can control just one adjacent province. So if it's adjacent to you, you can take control of one adjacent province, but only one. Not 2 or 3, just 1. You can attack anything that comes into your territory, if you so wish. You can also attack any sea event type things like this, if they are 1 turn or less movement. So basically a full movement bar from like a port, or from when you get into the water, you can go and attack them and do them, but then you've got to come back. If it's more than 1 turn away, you can't attack it. You've got to come back. Basically, you're not allowed to raid enemy provinces. You're not allowed to attack any of the towns and cities and sack them or whatever, even if you're like not occupying them, apart from the 2 provinces that you control. So let's say, example, in this case, I've only had my own province, because I was getting attacked from all over the fucking place. I could have controlled Lyonesse and Musalem. That could have been my second province. If any of these were taken, I can retake them, but I can't say then go and attack Castle Artois and take that. Once you've occupied a town or city in a province, that is the province you've declared is the one that you want to occupy as your second province. And you can only have those 2 for the first 100 turns. On turn 100, you can begin attacking, playing the campaign as normal. There are some other rules, because I've had to write them down so I've got them myself. You can't confederate anyone, because that's another way potentially to get more territory. So, example, Bretonnians are a good one for it, because obviously they can confederate through the tech tree. As you can see here, I've done these ones to increase relations so I can get allies, but I've done none to basically get confederations. Confederations are a big no-no. So you can do confederations at turn 100, but not before. So 100 and on, you can then do them. Until then, you can't. And your armies have got to remain inside your border. You can obviously jump out into the ocean if there's like an army coming to attack you like this idiot here. You can jump out and get them, if it's in the water side. If, say you attack an army and it retreats slightly into its own territory, you can pursue them and finish them off. But then you've got to go back into your territory. So there's a little bit of leeway, but basically you're not allowed to stand there and raid constantly, or go and repeatedly sack their settlements. You're not on the attack, you're on defense. The whole idea of this is to give the AI a 100 turn head start and see what the AI can come up with. And in some cases, without player involvement, you see a little bit of a change in what's going off. And obviously Bretonnians, they're very rich in allies. So you've got allies everywhere. I did have a dicey part around about turn 30, where basically Grom the Paunch was down here, Kemler was here, I had Balak on his vassal coming at me, so I had armies coming at me all over. Obviously now I've got my fully flushed out Llewyn Leon Kerr army, because I keep these in because of the cost reduction that he's got. 3 Royal Hippogriff Knights, 3 Royal Pegasus Knights, that's my complete army. I didn't have that on turn 30, obviously. Luckily, Grom got war declared upon him by Kemler, and I wasn't at war with Kemler at the time. I've only recently gone to war with Kemler because he kept sending undead into my territory and then raiding, so I just thought fuck it and attacked him. But I can attack any of his stuff against in my province or really near it, like the stuff in the water. If it's on the border here, like in their territory, you can go for it, I suppose. But if it does retreat and stays like near their own stuff, if it's in their circumference of their towns, just leave them alone. You're not looking to go and attack, is the idea. You're defending. Kind of think of the Lord of the Rings scene where the King of Rohan's talking to Gimli. I know how to defend my own dwarf, my own keep master dwarf. Basically, you're looking to do the same thing. Prove how good you are at defending, not attacking. Now, some factions in the game are very good at it, like dwarves. Chaos dwarves will be high elves. They all have really strong garrisons. Bretonnians have got okay garrisons, but they're not as strong as dwarves or high elves. And then you've got some that have got really piss poor garrisons, like greenskins. They haven't got good garrisons at all. So trying to defend with those might be a bit harder. Which is where the second campaign will come in. It's going to be done with Skarsnik. So I'm going to have one with Lonely Unker, where I start at turn 99. And one with Skarsnik, where I start at turn 1. So you'll be cycling through a lot of turns rather quickly. But the idea is that you're basically looking to defend. And then seeing if you can then push back against a 100 turn advantage AI. And then see what you can come up with. Some of the factions I think are really hard to play, like Imric could be a difficult one. Clan Mulder, with Kislev and whatnot all over the place, could be quite a tricky one. Ikit could potentially. Some could be quite hard. Some could be quite difficult. As for some certain factions, there are some ones that are unique to certain factions that I'll read out here. So Beastmen can have 2 Herdstones, and once you've created one, it must be built in the same location until turn 100. So, example, let's say you're playing Morgor and you turn Castle Bastogne into a Herdstone. If it's then destroyed by the AI, you can't then go and build another Herdstone at Mousillon, which was the same one they had a Bastogne. You've got to rebuild it there, because you're not looking to gain advantage of territories by them being destroyed and rebuilt somewhere else. But you can have up to 2. So you can have one at Bastogne, and you could build one up here in Corone if you wanted to, and they'd be your 2 Herdstones. But then you're looking to defend the province that they are in. You're not attacking the Bloodground, you're defending your Herdstone. That then becomes basically your city. Anyone that comes into your province it's attached to, you can attack. But you're not looking to go around wrecking the area like you would do normally as Beastmen. You're defending, you're not attacking. Undercities for Skaven and Vampire Coast Coves, Pirate Coves, you can build those as much as you want. As long as they don't allow you to raise an army outside of your borders or take control or destroy an enemy city, that's fine. So like you can't build the Skaven nuke bomb or the Skaven one that spawns an army when it's maxed out or whatever. You can use it to like gather money or gather food, something like that for the Skaven, but you're not looking to use it to take over something. Because they're quite integral to both those factions, so you can build those because it's underneath a town or city that belongs to somebody else. Ogres can have up to 2 ogre camps. You can build them where you want in your starting province or your adjacent province you take control of. I'm not going to say where you can and can't build them. You just can't build them in enemy territory. They've got to be built in your borders. So, as an example, let's just say we were playing Scrag. So when I played Scrag, I built one here at this bridge, basically to cut off this bridge access, because I took control of both these towns. So this one is Eikendorf, this, and Matorka, which is that province there. I then also took control of this one here. What I then can't do is go and build a Herdstone here over the border of Redica Hills, where it's constantly raiding the dwarves. That's just the same as having an army in there constantly raiding. You're not looking to do aggressive actions and attack, you're looking to defend. You could build the ogre encampment here, just over the border in your territory, but not in theirs. So you can build it in your borders, well, up to 2 ogre encampments in your borders. Choice is yours where they are in your borders, but they've got to be in your borders. Apart from that, basically, you are just looking basically to defend and give the AI the 100 turns they need to try and get stronger. The idea behind this is, a lot of people, myself included, don't like the endgame scenarios. The endgame scenarios to me are shit. It doesn't really make the game harder, it just gives certain factions 20 to 25 free armies. Which is, it's not organic. It's an artificial way of making the game harder. And it's not very good. Like, if you've ever played a campaign where you just turn on, say, one endgame scenario, say, I don't know, say you're playing Clan of Shin, and you put on the Wood Elf endgame scenario. The only Wood Elves near you are the ones in that tree at the bottom. These ones over here won't be anywhere near you. And they might expand a bit when they first get all those armies, but then the AI factions nearby that are strong will eventually put them in line. And they'll stop growing the borders, they'll lose those armies. Because it recruits a lot of armies with endgame units they shouldn't have, and they don't normally recruit either. And they get them free of upkeep cost. They all declare war on the player. It's just a really bad artificial way of making the game harder. So this way that I've come up with is a more organic way of making your Immortal Empires campaigns harder. So if you want to try this way out, I suggest you do. If you stick to the rules, you'll find it a much better experience, because then that's how you'll get the most out of the campaign. If you want to make it even harder, you can forego getting an adjacent province, like I've done. This is the hard way where you just have your starting province. You can get adjacent one if you want, because I know some factions might need that more than others in some cases. But I'm playing Bretonnians. Their armies aren't cheap, and I've managed to do it. So it can be done. So if you want to try it this way, I urge you to do so. It's really, really good, really fun. Obviously it means you're not expanding to begin with, but you get to see what the AI comes up with. And you get to see some very strange and unique things as well. I've had some friends of mine who know about it, because I've only told 4 people. And they've been trying it as well themselves. And they've enjoyed it, spiced the game up for them. Because some of my friends have been telling me they've kind of got bored of Immortal Empires. So I've come up with this idea. And it's more aimed at veteran players. If you're a newer player, you can try it on the lower difficulties, easy, normal, hard. See if it is any good. If it is, let me know in the comment section, get back to me. You know, I'd be interested to know. If it's not any good, I've been interested to know that as well. But in very hard legendary, this is more what it's aimed at. It's aimed at veteran players, to give you a bit more of a challenge organically, without needing endgame scenarios. If you're playing this, you don't need endgame scenarios. Endgame scenarios, in my opinion, are shit anyway. I never turn them on. They're just crap. In all honesty. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hit the endgame turner. We're going to go through to turn 100, and I can then attack. I can start to attack. Although I've got to deal with this idiot first. Oh, and also, I don't know if I did mention it, in terms of if you get any convoys in your territories, obviously if it's inside your territory, you can attack it. And you can, I mean, look how strong the fucking Dark Elves are, Jesus Christ. So the Dark Elves, Nagrond and Rathi are strength rank 1 and 2 in this campaign. Now the High Elves appear to be holding them at bay, for the moment. I am at war with them. So I will probably expect to see Dark Elves at some point on my coastline, which is not filling me with a great deal of confidence. Because see, this is what you will get sometimes when you've not got a player being aggressive and having aggressive player influence. If you think you're good at playing the game and you know you can capably defend your towns and cities, prove it, do it. You know, with some armies it'll be really easy. Like I said, like dwarves, chaos dwarves, your high elves, probably even your dark elves, because they have quite strong garrisons as well. But with other factions, like trying to defend with Norskins, their garrisons aren't so good. And even their cities, unless you've got a dark fortress, don't get walls. It's an unwalled settlement battle. And if you're being hit by 2 or 3 armies, now you might have your full garrison and then maybe an army inside it, but by not having walls and those really strong exterior wall towers, it's going to be a lot harder to fight. And then obviously as well, you could come to the point where, depending on which you want to go for, the short or long campaign victory, obviously you need to occupy and control so many settlements. If most of the area around you is allies, you've either got to go further afield to get the settlements you require to meet your campaign completion objectives, or you've got to declare war on a really strong ally. So that also then makes it more challenging. Especially if, say, it hasn't in this one, but let's say I declared war on the Empire and they were strength rank 1. Because they own all the territory around me. Then I've like thinking, shit, what have I got to do? Now, normally, because I like to stay loyal to my friends, my AI friends on the campaign, I would probably go further afield and look for territory elsewhere. But if they controlled a lot of landmass and they took out a lot of factions, that might be my only option to declare war upon them. Then I've got to fight the strongest faction in the game with potentially only 1 or 2 armies. And they might have 15, 20 armies anyway, but these are organic armies. They've been leveled up, the lords have been leveled up by the AIs they choose, the units have been ranked up accordingly. They might have some strong armies and some like average ones or shit ones. Because the endgame scenario, when it spawns in the armies, those aren't the typical armies that the AI recruits. That's why I say it's artificial. It's not realistic. I mean, some of the armies that AI spawned that I've seen, they're not even what the AI builds at all. They've had, in some cases, had doom stacks. I saw one that had like, I think it was 15 dragons? I forget what it was. It was single entities. It was definitely a single entity. And it had like 15 of some sort, I'm sure it was a flyer. And then the Lord in there. So that was another single entity. Also on a mount. And then it had 4 regular units. Like 4 units of, I think it was some sort of infantry. And basically that is a doom stack at that point. And the AI don't recruit them to that extent. The AI recruit partial doom stacks, like probably say 5 to 8 units in that ballpark. 8's a bit extreme, you don't often see that. But 5 to 8 is what you'll get. Like, I've been playing my Throg campaign against Kislev. I've been seeing in multiple armies now 5 Ice Bears. So they've been having 5 single entities on the back end, and then a hero and a lord as well. So you've got like 7 in there if you include the characters. But they that's something they normally build. They wouldn't normally say have an army of 15 Ice Bears and then a Lord. That's not what Kislev builds. They never build that.
Let the supplicant come forward. By the light of the lady.
Oh, and there's another thing you can do, if you want to. This one, I'll give complete shout out to my friend Sol. Sol's idea is, I think this is even more tailored towards veteran players, is if you want to give yourself less insight into what's going off in the end turn, you can turn on the fast forward and leave it on every single end turn, so you can't see where the AI are moving. So you can just turn it on and leave it on throughout the entirety of the campaign. You can do that if you wish. I haven't done it in this, but you can do that if you wish. But once I've played a couple of the 100 turn AI Headstart campaigns, I might give that a try as well. And obviously at this point as well, at turn 100, you've got a lot of factions dead. I think it starts with like 275, 276 factions. We're below 100. So a lot have already died. So most of the factions that are rocking round are pretty strong-ish already. This I'm having to rebuild, got attacked by a 20 stack vampire count army, while my armour was trying to deal with a Balak or vassal army. So I couldn't defend it at the same time.
Strength and honor.
And then we've got this guy spawned in Vashnar's Conquest. He spawned over here a bit back. The Order Tide, which pulled me in as well, went to war with him. He did own 3 territories around here, so I'm guessing he lost both of these. It looks like he's trying to do something here. I'm not sure what he's trying to do.
Never.
Camel did have an army here that moved down here, but it looks like he took some damage. He had 3 armies here, which I was worrying about. But then the Empire came in with 3 armies and destroyed him because he attacked Marienburg and pissed off the Empire, which was his own fault. Oh, and this is another thing as well. This is my, like, second army. I've just recruited her, like, last turn. That's why she's on level 1. So I didn't really have the money, as you can tell. Got 225 coming in. I did have more when I had this built up. But I've left the 3 Pegasus Knights in this guy's army. But this guy's level 16. So he's only Hippogriff as well. And he's got all his vows. So I got his Knight's Vow in the start by having the building one. So every building completed, it got done. Questing Vow, obviously, I've been having these things spawn quite consistently. I think I had one spawn down here somewhere as well. So I just basically transferred the army that I had at the time from Lunley and Kerr to him. He went and auto-resolved the battle and got the one of Manan. And then, funnily enough, our good friend, Mr. Forehead, Belacor, came down, and one of the ways to get the Grail Vow is to defeat a legendary lord of Warriors of Chaos, which includes him. So he beat him, he initiated the attack, and then he got his Grail Vow. So he's got all his vows. So then when I'm ready, I can recruit another lord, and then I can start working on his vows, though it will be slightly harder. Normally for the Grail Vow I go for defeating 5 lords in battle, because that's usually a bit easier to obtain. The vows, in my opinion, still need tweaking. They're a bit weird. I like the ones here for the hero. Win a siege battle in desert or jungle climate. That should be changed if it's a hero that could be in the campaign map, basically. For the lords, this is fine. That one's a bit weird. Defeat legendary lord of Ogre Kingdoms, Beastmen, Greenskins, or Dark Elves. Well, Ogre Kingdoms, especially mostly in lore, are allies of Bretonnia, not enemies. And the newest Ogre Kingdoms army is Scrag, which is not exactly close. So, and it is legendary lord, not just a lord. Now, personally, I think that should just be a normal lord, not a legendary one. And you could change the Ogre Kingdoms for vampire counts. And you could even add in Vampire Coast as well. Because there's also a weird one for your Grail Vow, where, again, it needs to not be legendary lord. Just make it a normal, bog standard lord. Because Legendary Lord is quite specific, and there's only one with, like, each faction you can play. So that makes it quite hard to do in some cases. These ones are more based on a specific climate, which is just... That one's easy for, like, Albric, and it's easy for Repants. But for... God, what's her name? The bloody lady woman, and then Luan, that's harder to do because you've got to travel further afield. Obviously, that's the one that I generally go for because it's the easier one to do out of the three. But then this has got two really weird options as well. They're a bit strange. They don't make a whole load of sense.
This is Bretonnia.
It's the homeless person, Mr. Baldy. Now, this is an interesting thing as well. I did have a defensive alliance with both Costaltin and Zarina. And when I declared war on Kemler, they broke their defensive alliance with me, both of them. They didn't join in the war. All my other allies did, but not the two cowardly Kislev factions. Even though they keep asking me to join their war. It's like, why am I going to join your war when you won't help me when I'm fighting vampire counts that are nowhere near you as well? Kemler's all the way over by me. He's not going to cross the entire empire to go and attack Kislev. And he's not even strong anymore. It was when he had like 5 armies running round. And when he was beating the piss out of Grom. Yeah, Grom got backstabbed hard. I think Grom was relying on a truce. Because Grom controlled all this left side. And Kemler seemed to have gone down the right side. And then Grom was coming for me. And Kemler decided, nah, fuck it, we'll kill the greenskin. And just jumped on Grom's main army with like 3 armies. And wrecked him like just here outside of Lyonesse. So I was like, whew. At the time I was quite worried about that because I had a 20 stack army, but it wasn't a good army and it wasn't all knights. And obviously Grom had a 20 stack army and a 20 stack war. So he had 40 units to my 20. I had 20 of my extra lord. So that could have gone south. And then I had Baelakor and his vassal both coming up with the 20 stack army as well. So I was like, Jesus Christ. At first I thought I bit off more than I could chew. I thought it was going to be a really tough part. And, well, to be fair, it still was tough. But I got lucky that Kemler decided to attack Grom and not me. If Kemler would have come at me as well, I'd have probably lost the campaign there. Because I'd have had to fight Kemler, then Grom, then Baelakor's vassal, then Baelakor. Literally all within... It might have been within 1 turn, actually. Because I think I'd have had to fight Kemler and Grom on the same turn. Because from where Kemler's armies were, they could have attacked me, and then Grom could have attacked me as well. Or in fact, no, because Grom's turn was before Kemler. So, Kemler could have attacked me, Grom could have attacked me the turn afterwards, but then I would have been attacked by Grom, and then Baelakor's vassal. And then Baelakor attacked the turn after that. So it was like, Jesus. So it's going to be 1 army, then 2 other armies, then another army. So that's why in a lot of cases you need really high casualty punishment. So if that happens, if you get that 1 very important turn of recovery, you need to recover as much as you possibly can for your army. It's really, really important. I know some swear by the Law of Life for Bretonnians, even though I would argue the Law of Life is better at healing single entities than it is units. even units smaller like knights compared to like infantry. I like the Law of Heavens personally for the damage. In particular, the Comet of Casanadora. Very, very good. Because what you can always do is, you can fly your lord in on his Pegasus or Hippogriff. Your lords are quite durable, they're quite tough, they're not going to die very quickly or rout very quickly. Wow, okay. And you can charge them into the middle of the enemy army. They can all crowd round it, and then just make sure your Enchantress is in range with the Comet, and you can send the Comet down. Just don't put it directly on top of your lord's head. Put it a bit to the side, because single entities don't take as much damage from it, but it will wreck units, and it can do quite a significant amount of damage. And then if the enemy's still got a few units there afterwards, you can always cast your Vortex spell as well, something like that. I've got to upgrade that one, then I can upgrade that one again. Who's in? I'm back there again. Where can he get to? He can't get there in one turn. Okay.
You seek the lady's favor.
Enchantress, did I call her Damsel? Damsel's what I meant. And you've also got Uranon's Thunderbolt, which is not bad. It's like, what I call this is, it's more the cheap man's version of Warp Lightning. Warp Lightning is actually the first spell the Skaven get, but it's probably one of their best. It's one of the best first spells in a game that you can have. It does a lot of damage, especially when overcast. And into bulks of like infantry and cavalry, it does a lot of damage. Arwen's magic is literally ass. Marvellous, just what I needed.
Council, smite them.
That's a lot of fucking Graveguard. Right. I don't want to auto-resolve this, purely for the reason of if I auto-resolve it, there's that other undead army in that town. Now, on their next turn, he's probably going to raise dead units to a full army. I've seen him actually recruit a lord and have a full 20 stack in one turn. So, I don't want to auto-resolve it and my units get wrecked, and then I've got to fight that other army. So I'd rather manually fight it and hopefully take less casualties. It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, Graveguard can be a bit of a pain, but it's more so the Graveguard regret weapons because they're armor-piercing. The normal Graveguard aren't as effective against cavalry. And being that I've got an entire army that's mounted, and here I can potentially use the trees to try a little sneaky tactic, maybe, with some of the units. everyone else, get your ass over here. These guys can vanguard, which is disgusting. Huh? Where are these at? You're not in there, no. And if neither is she. I'm not sure. Well, I could potentially sell both gates here. Right. Actually, no. Send them there. You. And this is one thing you want to be proactive with where you can, if you're able. Since you've got, in my case here, I've got 7 really good flyers. I've got the one Leon Kerr himself, I've got 3 Royal Pegasus Knights, I've got 3 Royal Hippogriff Knights. Be proactive in bringing down interior towers. Interior towers can do a lot of damage for free. And they can really hurt a lot of units, and depending on the faction, like if it's like Nurgle, Skaven, Slanesh, they can have incredibly damaging towers. And the sooner you get them down, the less damage your army is going to take, and more intact it's going to be.
Quickly now! Very well! Sons of Bretonnia! Brave knights! It shall be done! Pegasus knights!
Right, we've got the bigger room we needed, potentially.
What do you need? On to glory!
This way.
Bretonnia!
What's damage like that? And she's there. Let the heavens bring destruction. Beautiful shot, my lady. Beautiful shot.
We serve the lady! To victory! Cut them down! Ready for battle! The lady's chosen! I am king here! Pegasus Knights! Sons of Bretonnia! Questing Knights! As you say! Moving a base! To my banner!
Very nice. My first outing with actually a complete army. But I've always used this army before in the past, just not ever with this idea of giving the AI 100 free turns to basically get ready. I'm curious to see how much damage that damsel did. And that's him. Oh god, damage dealt 666, fucking Christ. 7,629 damage dealt with one cast. She did more than the one they incur. And he killed triple her number. Oh, and also, there's more of a Bretonnian thing. Just to point something out. In case anyone else encounters the same problem.
King Lewin.
I got this trait, Abductor, from basically taking money after winning a battle rather than the experience. I have had Lonely Incur sat in Corone for probably 70 turns, and there's been a shrine in there all the time, and for the last probably 30 or 40 turns at tier 5 if not more, and I still haven't got rid of that negative trait. So I don't think the building works, the prayer shrine building. I think it's currently bugged, because it normally does work. It's not normally that shit. Right, now if we're having okay, we only need this and then this. Take both of those, which is fine. That's money. Take the garrison building. I mean, yeah, I could take that, couldn't I? Yeah, easily. Because the other one I'd take is that one. But I might take that instead. So what I'll do is, I'll take this. Need to get rid of the corruption.
By the light of the lady. My deeds are legend. With haste. King Lewin.
Okay.
Not one step further.
My people are grateful.
Had my defensive alliance back after you guys ended it because you're scared of Kemler. Pussies. They're fighting Vlad and they're scared of Kemler. Not being funny, but Vlad is one of the bloodline creators. He's far more dangerous than any necromancer apart from Nagash. Kemler and Ghost don't come close to any of the bloodline creators. Probably not even some of the seconds like Manfred. But like Vlad, obviously, he's the first of the Von Carsteins. You've got Neferat, was the first of the Lamians. You've got a Borash, who's... If they bring a Borash into this game, I'd be surprised, because in his own way, I'd say he's stronger than Nagash. He's an absolute beast. He's one of the few guys I would say, in a one-on-one fight, would potentially take Archeon. That's how strong a Borash is. And he was the only vampire to rid himself of the need for blood by drinking deep of a fire dragon and basically rid himself of the blood curse. But has all the strength of the vampire locked in and no longer needs to feed. You've got the Ghoul King, who is the first of the Strigoi line. And then you've got, I think it's Zacharias the Ever-Living. He's the original of the Necrarch bloodline. And the weird thing is, some of them, the Von Carsteins, Lamian and Blood Dragons do share something in common, where they can all exist in society. They kind of blend in, because they still look human. Blood Dragons generally don't. They're quite solitary. They stick in their blood keep, and they look for, like, martial prowess and honour. There's even points where Blood Dragons have let opponents live, because they've given them a worthy fight, and said, I'll give you, like, you know, years to learn to come back and fight me again and see if you can be successful where you failed the first time, sort of thing. Obviously, Lamian and Von Carstein have lived among humans forever. They always do. That's where their main food source is, and they basically hide in plain sight, because they blend in. But Necrarch and Strigoi share something in common that they can't blend in with society. Because Necrarch basically look like a living corpse. They kind of look a bit like Vlad does, but worse. So they kind of look like a zombie almost. But obviously they're a vampire and they have really powerful magic. And then you've got the Ghoul Kings. Basically, he's a vampire that's kind of gone feral. They're kind of part way between not being a vampire anymore, or looking like a vampire, should I say, and being a Vargeist, or is a Vargulf, the big, like, mutated vampires that have gone, like, completely feral and mindless. They no longer, like, really have a mind of their own, and they just follow the commands they're given, or just feed off blood wherever they can get it. They're kind of in between those two. They still have all the senses and faculties, their intelligence, but they are very bestial. And that's why they don't obviously exist anywhere near society. But they can still raise dead and use the magic and all that and tactics. But they normally hang out around, you know, all battle sites, graveyards, like long forgotten ruined cities or caves and things like that. That's their sort of hideouts. Same with Necrarch as well in a way. But Necrarch do it so they can, like, study magic more, because they're, like, heavily magic focused, which I think is also one of their biggest flaws, because if the Necrarch come to blow with any of the other vampires who basically can surpass them in martial prowess, in, you know, close quarter combat, they've got to hope they can beat them with their magic, because if they can't stop them, they're dead, because any of the other vampires will kill them quite handily. But saying that though, even the Necroarch, being as poor in combat as they are still better than any Necromancer. And that includes Nagash. Nagash wasn't known for his martial prowess. He wasn't good in combat. Nagash was a phenomenally gifted spellcaster. He was essentially the first Necromancer. And obviously the first of most things is generally the most powerful and most dangerous. Example like Be'lakor, Demon Princes. There's other Demon Princes that are quite strong, but you could argue Be'lakor is the most well known and feared, being that he was the first mortal to ascend to demonhood. And he's been alive the longest, so he's been able to learn more about his demon form and capabilities than any other. The same with Nagash with his. And that would make Nagash quite nasty as well, which I would expect to be part of his campaign mechanics if they bring Nagash into it, which I fully expect him to, is for Nagash to collect the 9 books of Nagash. Obviously one of them's been held by Ark the Black, but what they could say is that if you get Ark the Black as a defensive or military ally, and he'd already started good relations with him anyway, and probably like an aggression and military access and whatnot. Once you get him as a defensive military ally, he can basically then trade you the book. He gives you the book by becoming a defensive military ally. So then Nagash has that book that Arkan had. Arkan gives the book to Nagash because Nagash's book in the first place, he wrote them. And then Nagash has just got to chase down the other 8. Which obviously we know where those locations are, because Manfred's after them, as is Volkmar. So then you could put Nagash in the mix as well, and then he's trying to get the books back. And if he can get all the 9 books, he'd be able to do more with them than Manfred or Volkmar. Volkmar obviously didn't want to use them. He'd just lock them away in magic nullifying boxes, so they can't be detected by the undead, and so the power can't seep out and corrupt anyone nearby. So basically just eternally locked away. And the type of boxes he wants to lock them in, I think they were kind of rune forged by the dwarves out of some special kind of obsidian. And when they're locked, they can only be opened by the rune lord who locks them. So they can't be breached by magic or by magical weapons. And because it's dwarven runes, they don't fade either. They'll last forever. So when they're locked in these boxes, they're not designed to be opened again or released. So they can be locked forever. And obviously because Nagash's books also have immense power in them, when they're locked away, that power can't be sensed anymore by the undead. So it's not like they'll go looking for them and sense, oh right, there's great power over there. They won't be able to sense it. So they've got no reason to look for it if they can't sense it, and then even if they do find it, they can't get into it. So they need to then find and kidnap the rune lord in question and force him to open it. Because it'd be that particular rune lord or rune smith that would have to open the box. Because there was something about it in the, I think it's called the Chamber Unbreachable in Altdorf, because they hold some forbidden texts and tombs in there. And the idea is that the entire vault is warded by, not only by mages, but by dwarven runes as well. That it can't be breached once you're inside it, so it has to be opened from the inside only. So like if someone's in there studying forbidden lore, you're not getting in. The idea behind it is that somebody could lay siege to it with cannons, or a great demon could with magic for years and never make a dent in the thing. I mean, it stands to reason that a lot of people would ask, if the 9 books in Nagash have been found, why wouldn't they destroy them? I'm pretty sure the same reason they can't be destroyed is because Nagash has put magic on them before he died, that basically makes it so they can't be destroyed. They're immune to magic, they're immune to fire, they're immune to physical damage. They can't be destroyed. He obviously made it that way on purpose. So what they can do though is being contained or locked away, and that's what some of the people have done who found some of the books in Nagash. They've tried to lock them away, where it'd be almost impossible for the vampiric forces to find them and then use them. Because we've seen what a vampire can do with just one of the books. Getting multiples of them, you know.
Valiant Lord.
And that's how Nagash was going to initially create his ritual to end the world. He was going to kill every living thing. And the second part of the ritual was to basically resurrect the entire planet.
Who calls? Cease.
Right, how much do I need to move for that? 50%.
Glory awaits. A king stands with you. I am the blood of Gilles. My strength and wisdom are yours.
Right, and what I'll do is I'll leave this first part here today to like whet your appetite, so you guys can tell me what you think of the 100 turn AI Headstart campaigns, if you like the idea, and if you do, how much. Test it out for yourselves, see what you think. As I said again, all the rules I will leave in the description below every video in the series, so you can always find them, including the race specific ones for like beastmen, ogres, that sort of thing. They'll all be in there, so you can always refer to them if you want to. And then just let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoy. Take care everyone, I'll catch you on the next video. Have a nice day.